Hello, and welcome to Runkle of the Bailey. My name is Ian Runkle. I'm a Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. Today I want to round out my discussion of magazine limits with discussion of the special case of the LAR-15 pistol magazines. Now, if you're not familiar with what the LAR-15 pistol is, it's essentially an AR pattern pistol. It's a bit of a funny looking thing, but they're out there, and the RCMP had previously given the opinion that the LAR-15 pistol magazines were legal if pinned or at maximum capacity of 10. And we can see that this is an old RCMP document, and it gives the specific direction. It says, a similar example is the 10-round capacity magazine for the Rock River Arms LAR-15 pistol, regardless of the kind of firearm it is actually used in. So why did they say regardless of the kind of firearm it is actually used in? Well, because those magazines are interchangeable into the AR-15 rifles and vice versa. So what's happened is lots of people buy LAR-15 magazines because then they can use them in their AR-15 rifles. It's still a far cry from being able to use the standard capacity magazines, because if you look, I mean, this is a standard capacity AR-15 magazine, and you can see how it's been modified here to limit it to 5 rounds. You can see most of the capacity of the magazine is now useless. So that's sort of what we're stuck with here. Now, of course, for a lot of these purposes, it's better to have a larger magazine. So people were preferring those. Lots of people were buying LAR-15 magazines who, of course, have never owned the LAR-15 pistol, which is a bit of an unusual kind of specialty, kind of novelty sort of thing. Now, as I described in the last video, and I'm going to sort of rehash things a little bit here, we can see that the RCMP's webpage here has been updated to remove the language about the LAR-15. So the RCMP appear to be backing away from that interpretation, or at least burying it. However, we've got an additional sort of wrinkle that's going to come up very quickly here, and that is the new order in council that bans a whole number of firearms. And if we look, this is from the regulations here. The LAR-15 pistol is specifically named as being one of the banned firearms. So once the amnesty expires, I expect we're going to see an argument that says that the LAR-15 pistol is no longer a pistol that is commonly available in Canada. Now you might say, well, okay, commonly available in Canada or not, who cares? However, this is actually a big deal. Let's look at the prohibited devices definitions here. And so we just see here, any firearm that is capable of containing more than 10 cartridges. So this is indicating what's banned, not what's legal. So legal is anything under this. So 10 cartridges and less of the type for which the magazine was originally designed, and that is designed or manufactured for use in a semi-automatic handgun that is commonly available in Canada. So commonly available is a requirement for it to fall under this section. What happens if it's not commonly available? Well, then we're into this category. Any cartridge magazine that is capable of containing more than 5 cartridges of the type for which it's originally designed, if it's for a semi-automatic handgun that is not commonly available in Canada. So I'm virtually certain that we are going to see an interpretation come out once the amnesty expires to say that the LAR-15 pistol is not commonly available in Canada, and therefore that they are limiting this to 5 instead of 10. And of course, that's going to make a lot of people unhappy, because you might say, well, why do you care? I mean, if the AR-15 is banned, why does it matter, if this is pinned to 5 or 10 or, 30, if you can't use it? However, there's lots of different firearms that use this pattern of magazine. And lots of gun owners who have these magazines, and of course, because it's, these things are pinned to 5, we end up buying a bunch of magazines. The solution to that is to buy more magazines, because now you have to do more magazine changes. And so if you're doing a course of fire or any sort of target shooting, now you need more magazines so that you can change out. So the the result of the ban is that we all have a ton of these things, and they're expensive. If you watch a movie and you see people, they're engaging in some sort of gunfight and they're just taking their magazines out and chucking them to the ground, gun owners are sitting there going, "Ooh, that's money." You've got these guys have big bank accounts to be just getting rid of these magazines without worrying about it. So, if you've got hundreds of dollars of magazines, one of the things, and your firearm is banned, you start thinking, what other firearm will take these magazines? So lots of gun owners are buying other firearms that will take these magazines. There's lots of other firearms on the market that'll take them. And so this is going to be a big issue. There's also going to be a lot of people who don't really realize this and who are going to be continuing to use magazines, not realizing that the RCMP may change their position on that. I'm virtually certain that they are going to, because we've already seen them backing away from that legal interpretation. I did sort of do some thought about whether I should make this video, just on the basis of, will I be telling them things that they don't otherwise know? Frankly, I don't think I'm giving away anything clever here. So that's why I decided ultimately I'd make the video. I think that the RCMP are already aware of this and that they're just waiting out the clock on this one. I will say there are a few videos that I'm not making, simply because they're interpretations of the law that I don't think anyone's clued in on, that I don't want anyone to clue in on. So I'm just sort of burying those details. But this is going to be a big thing. So if you have an LAR-15 magazine, you should be sort of putting a note by the amnesty expiry date to say, listen, maybe I want to have these magazines pinned. And I know that's going to make a lot of people sad. It's going to make me sad. I hate seeing these kinds of restrictions kick in, because I think they don't usually make a whole lot of sense. But I would much rather see people be aware of this and, know their risk and make their decisions about what they want to risk, rather than people I don't want to see people getting tripped up and arrested and charged just because they didn't realize that sort of the situation had changed. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about in this video. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry, I kind of feel like these last few videos have been kind of downers, but I feel the need to share the information. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Also, I want to thank my Patreon supporters at the $50 level: Demo, Sir Daniel Wicks of Alberta, Canada's National Firearms Association, and Kyle Martin. At the $20 level, Cameron Johnson, Dale Nesbitt, and Andrew Elsich, as well as a number of you at the $10 level who will be in the crawl immediately following. So thank you once again for watching. I hope this has armed you with knowledge, and please like this video, please share it with your friends, please subscribe to see more content, and see you next time.